All right, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast, and it is game 2 of 7 in the grand finals of the 2015 Dreamhack Winter. On the right side, we have our blue Zerg player Solar. On the left side, we have our red Protoss player PartinG, who took game number 1. And we will speed this on up. It is Central Protocol, and it is a cross spawn, so it should not be a particularly long game, just due to the fact of the proximity nature of the map and the spawns. Hatchery going up first here, and a Nexus up first as well. And Probe, it notices that hatchery and the main base, and notices that it's going to be a cross spawn, so it knows that it's going to be a quick match, so he's going to have to get some units out as soon as possible. And the Zerg player might not even be able to get a second expansion going right off the bat. Both players will most likely have to get units out very quickly in order to stay in the game, as there is a pretty short distance between each other, particularly if you take out the rocks. It goes right into the main base, but normally you have to go right around and just right up and around. So not very far at all. We have a pylon going up to spy on these rocks here, and we do have a second expansion for the Zerg player, regardless of the cross spawn. And we have 2 adepts on the way here, being chrono boosted out from the gateways. So indeed, trying to rush a pretty fast attack here from the Protoss, and getting that warp gate pretty quickly as well. The assimilators up pretty quickly and going strong. Just one working in the extractor there. Apparently talking is hard today. And we have a probe trying to run away from the Zergling here, but one Zergling can never really take down a probe, as it always just regenerates before it gets hit again. Zelnaga tower captured there, so notices these 2 Zerglings moving about. And the mothership core just going to hover over the main entrance to the base, and as soon as these Zerglings come along, just going to get peppered up by that mothership core. But now really distracting these adepts from their true goal, and what that would be to get inside the Zerg base and take out some drones. So those Zerglings were doing actually a pretty good job in the sense of distraction. Now here comes tons of Zerglings, so now he's going to have to stand and hold in the base here. Could he really use a Zealot to stand there? And we have a Warp Prism coming in for the Protoss player now. Gonna try and do a drop in the main base here, and there's really nothing to defend other than this queen right now. All these Zerglings are trying to harass the Protoss base, but as soon as they get close, gonna get peppered up by those adepts there. And so they're really not gonna be able to do much at all. Maybe at best work on these rocks. Twilight Council on the way for the Protoss player. And another Warp Prism, so 2 Warp Prisms. Or no, that was just the first Warp Prism there, and an Immortal on the way as well. And here goes 4 of those adepts, and now the warp gates are ready to go here. So they're going to be able to produce quite a bit faster, and here comes the additional 4 gateways. And now making his way to the Zerg base, but the Overlord is here. It is pretty much always going to be there, so he is spotted on the way there, and here comes some Zerglings now to defend. So he's going to have to drop pretty much on these Zerglings. And he's going to have to micro back and forth here. Going to have to jump them into that Warp Prism to save them from the Zerglings. And takes out the majority of those Zerglings. There are a couple roaches on the map now. And not going to be able to do too much, so just got to back off for now. We have an Overseer being morphed in there. And the Zerg base going pretty strong here. So far the production, we have a Zerg missile attack, so going roaches or Ravagers here for the Zerg player. And we have charge coming out for the Zergling, or for the Zealots. And looks like he covered his own base with a pylon there, now has to destroy it. Was covering it while he was out and about, so the Zerglings didn't get into his base there. And the units lost so far, Zerg losing a little bit more, 400 to 150. Units on the map here. We have a changeling running around the map somewhere. 3 queens, 13 Zerglings there 4 Adepts, 2 Immortals, and 12 Zealots. So quite the army there for the Protoss player. And now the Ravagers are being evolved. And now warping in with that Warp Prism here, building up a slightly bigger army for this attack. But there are tons of Ravagers here and tons of Zerglings and Roaches in this mix. And so we'll see what happens here. The charge is already up and going, and here they go, tons. And the battle's going pretty strong here. The Zealots are doing a really good job, tore through all of these Zerglings, but now the force fields are actually stalling his own Zealots from getting to these units. And now Solar in a little bit of trouble here. These 2 Immortals going after the Ravagers now. And Zerglings pushing, or the Zealots pushing after the Ravagers and the Roaches. More Roaches being spawned here from the hatcheries. And we do have some units up here as well, some Adepts just standing there, hitting some units that are running by. And now the Roaches decide to finally take them out. And resorting to using some drones to attack here. And Roaches now going to try and push away the Protoss. And so many Zealots now warped in. The Warp Prism just pumping them out. And Roaches trying to get away from these Zealots here and doing a pretty good job of stutter stepping there, but not going to be enough. And Solar GG's out from the second game, the grand finals of 7. Hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I will see you guys next time.